Over the course of history, the concept of a perfect government has been refined again and again. In 1215, the Magna Carta showed that everyone was subject to the law. Hobbes developed the idea of one main body of government, popular sovereignty, orders it where as an individual you have to give power up to the leader, but as a community you have power over the leader. Written in 1689, the English Bill of Rights included ideas of limited government and the right of the people to be represented. A year later, in 1690, Locke develops the idea of separation of powers among the one-body government. Montesquieu wrote about the true meaning of liberty and the importance of checks and balances among the different branches of government. The Articles of Confederation, written in 1777, supports the individual freedom of the people rather than the welfare of the country.
Finally, in 1787, the U.S. Constitution is written to strengthen the government so that they can support the liberties of the people. You can see that just within these 600 or so years, a lot has changed. We start off with the basic idea that everyone is subject to the law so that no one person has too much power. We've moved from a one-sided conception of a government to one with lots of depth and development. It's like a domino effect, but there's always something with a greater impact than all others. For the U.S. Constitution, that would be the philosopher Montesquieu.
By looking at what the U.S. Constitution consists of, we can see where it all rooted from. But back up. Before that, we must examine the Articles of Confederation, the failed Constitution. The Articles took just as much from Montesquieu, but misinterpreted a good deal of it. First, it gave too much power to the people, but it came from the idea of popular sovereignty. It was the first attempt at federalism, which really stemmed from Montesquieu's ideas of separation of powers, but they couldn't balance it correctly. Limited government also coming from Montesquieu, but was way too limited for Congress to do anything. The legislative was the most powerful and the only branch of government. They took from the idea of Montesquieu about how legislative has the most importance, but completely ignored the other two branches.
So the people discovered that their government was too weak, and because of that, the articles weren't going to work. They gave the government more power by adding branches, but also limited the increased power through checks and balances. And because of this, the individual rights of the people, along with the welfare of the country, were guaranteed. Before, the government was too weak to support the people's rights, and since the government would be comprised of the people, the country would suffer as a result.
Montesquieu heavily emphasized the importance of separation of powers and checks and balances among the branches of government. The Constitution took this idea and elaborated upon it to create the idea of federalism. In conclusion, Montesquieu had the most important influence on the Constitution because through using Montesquieu's ideas, the United States were able to prove to the Europeans that federalism could work and that they were capable of creating a well-balanced and strong federal government.